Our topic for tonight is about the next life, sa kabilang buhay. There are lots of mention in the Quran, in different parts of the Quran, about the next life. And this life is a temporary life. We are here for an exam, and the result will be the next life, sa kabilang buhay. Everything will be judged. When we say in the Quran, in Surah Fatiha, Malik Yawmiddin, Allah is the owner of the Day of Judgment. So Allah will be the judge on the Day of Judgment. And we will be going to be judged on whatever our action we did in this life. Everything will be judged by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even if you have a small amount of money to give to the people, then you will be judged on that. Everything. There are two kinds of obligations we have. One obligation is Hukukullah, another obligation is Hukukullah Ibad. The Hukukullah is the rights of Allah, and the Hukukullah Ibad are the rights of the people. Allah can forgive us His rights if we did something wrong, and if Allah is willing to forgive us, because we ask Allah to forgive us, then Allah can forgive. But Hukukullah Ibad, Allah will not forgive, which is the rights of the people, unless we get the permission or forgiveness from the people. For example, you did wrong to someone, Allah is not going to forgive you unless you ask that person to forgive you. For example, you say somebody bad word, mumurahin, and you ask Allah, Allah forgive me, I insulted that person, but Allah will not forgive you until you ask that person who you speak the bad word. So that is called the example of rights of the people. Example, you got money from someone, or you cheat someone with money, and now you ask Allah, Allah forgive me, I did not pay this person. No, Allah will not forgive you until that person you pay him back, or either he forgives you. So these are the obligations. For example, another example, a very common example in the corruption. Example, you live in the Philippines, and you are giving money to the government for the taxes. You buy noodles, or you buy rice, or you buy a grocery, you buy water, you pay Meralco bill, or you pay water bill. Every single centavo, you are paying government the money. Now the people in the Philippines, for example, they are paying billions of dollars to the government, billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. And it is the money of the people. 111 million people, they live in this country, and they are paying government the money. But what happened now? This money is being abused by the lots of politicians. They use this money for their luxury. They use this money for their palaces. They use their money for their vehicles, for cars and luxury of their life. And it is very common, because in the Philippines, that is a big problem. Even in the Mindanao, in the Muslim places, there are lots of corruption, because they win the election, they have to spend money, and when they have a position, they have to retrieve their money, because the people invest with the politicians, and the politician has to get the benefits through this. Now, example, the government, like LGU, the local government, the mayor or governor, they buy the medicine from a company, and the company will tell to the company, you sell expensive, then you give us some money. So they buy expensive from the money of the people, from the company, just to get corruption, the bribe. And what happened now? It is stealing. You are stealing the money of the millions of people. And these millions of people will ask you on the Day of Judgment that Allah, he cheated our money, this politician, we need to collect from him. He has to pay us. And if you cannot pay them, and of course you cannot pay them on the Day of Judgment, you will go to hellfire. This is the Prophet Muhammad said. Rashi wal murtashi kilahuma finnar. A person who take the bribe and a person who give the bribe, they both will go to hellfire. There's a corruption is stealing the money of the people. So those politicians who are honest, good for them. But those politicians who are cheating the money of the people, they buy the things more expensive, and then they are going to be answered that on the Day of Judgment. Everything. You are living in a company, then you get the money from somebody to buy more expensive products. Then you will be judged for that on the Day of Judgment. you can do anything wrong, Allah will ask you on the day of judgment. There will be 4 questions on the day of judgment. Sa araw na po apat ng tanong. Where did you spend your life? Where did you spend your youth? How you earn your money and how you spend it. And the knowledge you have, how much you use that knowledge. These 4 questions. Where did you spend your money? How did you spend your life? How you spend your youth? How you earn the money and where do you spend your money? And the knowledge you have, how much you utilize that knowledge. You're an engineer. You can help people with some buildings, but you are not using that knowledge. You wasting that knowledge. Rather, you try to do something else. So you are wasting your knowledge. The knowledge you have, you cannot waste this knowledge. You can share your knowledge. You can use your knowledge. You are a doctor. You can help people with your knowledge, but you don't like to practice doctor. You have another option to do your making your money. So you are, because of greediness, he doesn't want to spend your knowledge of being curing people by the will of Allah. For example, you have the knowledge of education. You know how to teach children, but you don't want to teach children, but rather you want to choose something else. So you will be answered that on the day of judgment. Knowledge Allah gave you, did you use it or not? For example, you have a knowledge of the Quran, you must share it. You have knowledge about Islam, you must share it. So these are the 4 questions on the day of judgment. Day of judgment is not a joke. Araw na po hukom. That will be a big gathering. That will be the greatest judgment day. Allah will be the judge, the God Almighty Allah, and He will ask you the question. Everybody will come one by one. Nobody will save you on the day of judgment except only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He will judge you according to your actions. If you did good, then He will give you good, and if you do evil, then you will answer for the evil on the day of judgment. There will be no injustice on this. Today, in the court of the world today, you can have a false witness, you can have a bad system in this world, but on the day of judgment, no. Because Allah will be the judge, and who will be the witnesses? The people will be the witness. Your hands will witness, your skin will witness, your eyes will witness, your ear will witness. Allah said your hands will witness, your feet will witness against you. So there will be no hiding. And Allah said everybody will see their good or bad deeds on the day of judgment. Whatever we are doing, Allah is recording it. And you will see it visualized. Everything will be seen by eyes on the day of judgment. Day of judgment is the time when Allah will destroy this world. Then Allah will send the water from the sky, and the water will absorb in the soil, in the dead bodies, the bones, the soil, and then it will start to recreate the bodies. And then Allah will give the life to the angel, the Israfil, to blow the trumpet second time, and then the souls will go to the bodies, and the people will come out from the graves, and will never die after this. Now you have 2 options after the judgment day. The judgment day will be 50,000 years. And you are going to judge by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this big day. If you pass, if you have more good deeds and less sins, you can go to paradise. If you have more sins and less good deeds, then you will go to hellfire. Example, how you can get more good deeds and how you can get the more bad deeds. Make remembrance of Allah. Much more you pray, fast beside Ramadan, or help people with your charity besides zakat, the obligation what? Give non-obligation charity. Keep on doing good and don't do the evil. The worst evil can come from your mouth. For example, some people, try to judge other nations or other people. Like some people can say Chinese are not good, they are cheating. Now you are insulting the 1.5 billion people. Or some people say Indians are not good, so you are backbiting 1.4 billion people in one word only. So what is your account now? You are insulting the 1.4 billion people, and it's written in your account 1.4 billion sins, 1.5 billion sins. Some people, they are foreigners, they come and they started to curse people of the Philippines. The Filipinos are not good. So you are getting in your account the sin of 111 million people. So that's how you can multiply your bad deeds with your words. Insulting people or backbiting people or cursing people. Prophet Muhammad said, On the day of judgment, that he asked the Sahaba, who is the poor? Sino yung miskin? Who is the, sino yung mahirap or miskin in the Arabic? And then his companion, they say the miskin is the one who has no money, who has no food, and if he asks somebody to give his daughter, they will not let him marry. The Prophet said, no, he's not the poor. He said the poor person is the one who come on the day of judgment with the mountains of good deeds, praying, fasting, charities, everything. But this person is a bad character. He speaks bad words to people. He backbite to people. He insult to people. And he has a very bad character to the people, especially speaking bad words or physically hurting, insulting people, or mumurahin, or backbiting, chismis. And the people will come to Allah on the day of judgment that this person, he insulted me, he backbite me, he insulted me, he said bad words to me. And Allah will say, get his good deeds. So people will come and complain and they keep on getting the good deeds until all his good deeds will be finished. The mountains of good deeds is no more. Finish all, ubusalat. And then still people coming and speaking about him that this person was very bad, that he was insulting us and he is backbiting us and he is slandering us. And the people will have nothing to get from him, no good deeds, walang pahala. And then they will put their sin, their kasalanan on him. Until he will get the mountains of bad deeds, the mountains of sins. And then he will be with the mountains of bad deeds. And the Prophet say he is the poor. And that person will be thrown in the hellfire in the next life. Why? He has a good praying, he has a fasting, he has a charities, he has a lots of good deeds, but he is a bad character. So he insult people, and because of this, he will be throwing in hellfire. So it's good to have a focus on your rituals, praying, fasting, giving charity, but very important to focus on our character. Character is good. You murder someone, it is more worse. You break the heart of someone. You insult someone publicly, scold someone publicly. You insult someone publicly. As I always give what the Prophet said, insulting a person, it's more bigger sin than to destroying the Kaaba 70 times. So destroying the house of Allah, it's a very big sin, but destroying the heart of someone, the breaking the heart of someone, it is more bigger sin inside of Allah. And the Prophet Muhammad, he also teaches us about the good character, to not to keep hatred of anyone, always love people and not to hate people, always to kind with people and not to be cruel to people, always to be generous and not to be niggard, not to be greedy, but always open heart. Have the money, but don't love the money. Keep the money in your heart, don't keep the money in your heart. Now the people are easy to judge people. That is a very big sin, prejudice. You are not even asking the person and then you started to judge person because of it. These people will be going in the hellfire because Allah don't like people to be prejudiced, not to judge people, rather to listen to people. Don't, easy to people to judge other people. And you don't need to worry about them. Forget about them. Just concentrate on your duty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Never mind the people. People always do criticize you. You need to just go away. Like Allah said in the Quran, with the khatibumul jahiluna, qalu salama. When they are addressed with the jahilun, ignorant, they say salam. Don't need to argument with them. Just get away from them. Now the Prophet Muhammad, he teach us more focus on the character. Like Prophet Muhammad, when he was not Prophet, he was 40 years in Makkah. He was not yet the Prophet of Allah. And 40 years, what he was showing to the people of Makkah? Character. So the people of Makkah, they called him Sadiq and Amin. Sadiq means the truthful, and Amin means the trustworthy. 40 years. He has two great words from the people of Makkah. Truthful, Sadiq, and Amin, the trustworthy. So that is how the Prophet Muhammad was given this the remarks from the people of Makkah that this person never tell a lie and this person never cheat people. Now, that is for us as a Muslim. Never tell a lie. Even if you're business, you are doing a sports, Whatever you're doing, never tell a lie. That is the golden rule. That is the great commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be truthful. Don't lie. That will be the day of judgment. If you are a liar, you are going to hellfire. You are truthful, you go to paradise. Hellfire is it's a big, very bad place. And the paradise is a great place to live. It's a beautiful place with palaces, with houses, with rivers, and with gardens, and with fruits, and with enjoyment. The hellfire is with burning and with all the evil things there in the hellfire. Now it is up to us what we like to do. We like to go to paradise, then you need to be good. And if you like to go to hellfire, then just go, do bad and just hurt people with your bad words. Be good, go to paradise. Do evil, go to hellfire. The worst of the bad you can do in your life is to worship idols. It is the biggest sin. Pinakamalaking kasalanan, samba sa mga remolto. You worship the idols, it is the biggest sin. Or you worship other than one God. Because even Quran, the Bible, the Torah, the Zabur, the Injil, the books of Hindus or Buddhists, any book, any scripture, the first commandment, there is only one God. The infinite God. This God is only one. He doesn't need anything. He has no son and no father. And no one is like unto him. No one is look like him. He's not like the sky. He's not like the earth. He's not like the sun and the moon and the planets and stars. No. He's not like human. He is unique. He is infinite God. So believes in one God. That is the first commandment. Worship that God. Obey commandments of God. One of the great commandments is speak the truth. Honor your word. Don't cheat people. Be honest. Don't be injustice. Always do justice. Wag na madaya. And be kind with the parents. It is one of the great commandments of God, Almighty Allah. Kind with the parents. Kind with the wives and children and brothers and sisters and uncles and aunties and grandparents or relatives and neighbors, friends, and all the human beings. Even with the animals, we need to be good and not cruel. Allah said in the Quran, "Alladhi khalaqal mauta wal hayata liyabluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amala." He, Allah, He created the death and the life to see you who is going to do the good action, not to do evil. Corruption is a very big evil. Why the people in the Philippines are suffering? Because of too much corruption in politics. The politicians are spending the billions to get position, and when they have a position, they use the corruption to retrieve the funds spent by them on them by the businessman. So it becomes like a business. Politics become a business. We learn in Islam that you spend money or you give food for the sake of Allah. But in the politics, when there is the election, the politician, they give the food to showing of the people to get vote. So there is agenda. But for us, we learn, you feed people for the sake of Allah. No anything, walang palit. No need to get back anything. Just for the sake of Allah, spend money for upon the people with a pure heart, with ikhlas, not the showing off for the people. If you can see the lives of the prophets, like Prophet Adam, Prophet Noah, Prophet Abraham, Prophet Lut, or Prophet Jacob, or Prophet Ibrahim, Ismail, Musa, Isa, Jesus, or Prophet Muhammad, look at their life. What they did in their life, they always do good for the people. They become blessing for the people. They never become curse for the people. They always like to guide people to the right way. Teach people to worship one God, not to worship the idols. Be truthful. Don't lie. Don't cheat people. Don't hurt people. Don't say bad words to people. Don't fight with the people. The Prophet Muhammad said, if you are fasting and if you fight to people, Allah will not accept your fasting. And he said, if somebody wants to fight with you, don't fight with him. And if he's insisting to fight with you, say to him, I cannot fight with you because I am fasting. I cannot fight with you because I am fasting. Prophet said, Allah said in the Quran, when you give the charity and you say the bad word, then Allah said, it is better to say a good word than to give charity. Allah will not accept your charity when you are insulting people with your words. You say, give money, then you say you have no shame, you always ask money. So you are insulting that person, then Allah is not going to accept your charity. You pray 5 times a day, but you have a very bad mouth. You insult people with your dirty mouth. So Allah will not accept your salah, because meaning of salah, when you pray 5 times a day, then you should have a good character. You speak good words to the people and not hurt to people. A believer will never say the bad words. No bad words comes from the mouth of a believer. If you are a really Muslim, true Muslim, never speak the bad word to people, but always say the good words to people. And never to be arrogant. Huwag na mayabag. Don't look down the people. Example, the people working like janitor. Don't think they are bad, they are low profile people. They are good people, the janitors, the cleaners. They clean for us so we are not sick. The maids are serving us. We need to take care of our maids. Give them the food, what we eat. Whatever we eat, we should give the same food to our employees, to our maids, to our workers, and not to discriminate them, not to shout upon them, not to fight with them, not to hurt them. Prophet Muhammad in his last speech in Khutbatul Wida, in Hajjatul Wida, he said about to take care of the women and also to take care of the employees, our workers, the maids, or our workers, employees, need to be kind and generous with them. So these are the teachings of Quran, the Prophet Muhammad, that we will be judged on that on the day of judgment. We need to be very careful about our life. Everything is being judged by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We will be judged by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment. Everything. Even a single word you speak against the people, you will answer that on the day of judgment. You hurt someone, you will answer it on the day of judgment. Allah will be writing down everything. Even if you are paying, you are supposed to pay 1 peso to somebody. If you're not paying, you will be answered it on the day of judgment. If you work with a company and if you have to return even 1 peso, you have to write down and return it. Because Allah will ask this on the day of judgment. Everything will be asked by the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment, that where is the money you did not pay to people. Anything. If you cannot pay, tell them, ask them sorry. Tell them to forgive you. If you will die without paying the money of the people, you will have a big problem on the day of judgment. You will be judged on the day of judgment. Even the Prophet Muhammad, where people are died and they come, their funeral is being held in the masjid. And then he asked, did these people was paying his debt? And the people said, no, he was not able to pay. The Prophet said, I'll not pray for him. Allah will not forgive him. So this is how important is our rights to the people. Our rights to our parents, to our wives, our children, our brothers, our sisters, our uncles, our aunties, our neighbors, our colleagues, our friends, the people who work in your company or people who study in your school, your classmate, your schoolmate, your neighbors. Everybody has a right. Even the animals who are belongs to us, we cannot do injustice with even the animals. You know, the birds, you cannot cage them. You need to free them. The animals should have a freedom also. The people who are working with you, you should give them proper rights to that. And then the neighbor, the Prophet Muhammad said, that Wallahu la yu'min, wallahu la yu'min, wallahu la yu'min. I swear to Allah, he is not a believer. I swear to Allah, he is not a believer. I swear to Allah, he is not a believer. And the people ask him, who ya Rasulullah? He said that the person who is mischief with his neighbor, then he's not a believer. Wallahu la yu'min. He is not a believer. A person who's making mischief to his neighbors. So we are very important, even our neighbors are Christian or whoever they are, even not Muslim, we need to be kind and just with them. We need to be very good with our neighbors. It is one of the great commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you do wrong with your neighbor, you are not a believer. The very important also question about these 4 questions I mentioned earlier on the day of judgment. Where did you spend your life? Where did you spend your youth? How you earn your money and where you spend your money. And the knowledge you have, how much you utilize it. Now, example, the earning money. It is a big problem. People, they lie in the business, so you become haram your income. If you sell alcohol, it is haram to sell alcohol. It's haram to sell the pig, or it's haram to deal in the riba. For example, you sell the product, if it is cash, low price. But if you will give the credit on your stocks, you charge more, it's also riba. It's also haram. Because your money for cash and credit should be same. That's what how the people are doing, installment, and they charge more. That's haram. If you borrow the money from the bank and then you pay the interest, that's haram also. It's a very big sin. It is like making war with Allah. You have somebody need money, then you get the check and then you discount the check. That's haram also. Because discounting check is also getting riba, the interest. You need to buy the car and you want to buy new car, then you go to the bank, you loan the bank, then you pay the interest. That's haram. Better, small money you have, just buy a second-hand car. If you don't have enough money to buy the house, just rent the house. But don't get the loan from the bank, because it is a very big sin to get the loan from the interest and then you pay the interest. The patung sa pera. That is haram, because it's in the Quran haram. Even in the other books like Bible or other books, it is a very big sin to lend the money on interest. So these are the rules in business, that your business should be legal, halal, and not haram. For example, the people are selling the things which is not halal. Anything which is not halal in Islam, like selling of pig or selling of haram food or haram drinks like alcohol, or your business is gambling, or you are selling the things for use for gambling, that is all haram also. So you need to check what is your business. Your business should be halal. The food you sell should be halal. Even you are selling to Christian, but your food must be halal. You eat halal, you sell halal. Don't say that I'm not eating this, I'm just selling. No. When you sell something, it must be halal. Even if it is food or drink or cosmetic or medicine, or if it is other things, should be halal. Everything you sell should be halal, then your income will be halal. And the food must be halal you buy. Because the Prophet said, if you eat haram food, then your body will be haram, and then haram body will go to hellfire and not in paradise. For example, the blood is haram, or the dead animal, if it's not slaughtered, it is haram. Like chicken in Philippines mostly, it's corriente. Patay sa corriente. They kill the chicken with current. So it's not halal, because we need to slaughter in the neck, in the Bismillah Allah Akbar. So the eating, your food, your chicken, your beef, or your sheep or goat, whatever the food, it should be slaughtered. And it should be clean from the blood. And bawal kain ng baboy. Because even in the Bible, wag na kayo kain, karne ng baboy, ito ay marumi. And in the Quran, the baboy is, the pig, the pork, is haram to eat. And Allah said, وَمَا أُهِلُّ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ, and all the things which is not in the name of Allah, it's haram. Like example, the food in the name of the idols, yung mga jus-jusan, hindi pwede kain. Or the anything which is not in the name of Allah, it is not allowed to eat. We can only eat the food which is in the name of Allah. Now 8:50 now, we have question answer inshallah. Prophet Muhammad, Allah said in the Quran, Allah sent the people, the Prophet in the language of the people. So lahat ng prophet sa salita ng tao. Like Prophet Muhammad came to Arabia, so he speak Arabic to them. The Prophet Jesus was to Bani Israel, so he was speaking Aramaic. But the Prophet Moses was Bani Israel, so he is speaking Hebrew. So the all languages belongs to Allah. The Filipino or Tagalog or English or Germany or Arabic, lahat ng lingwa ay likha ng Allah. All the languages are created by Allah, so you must speak to the language of the people. I usually speak Tagalog, but today I'm speaking English lecture. But I speak Tagalog so people can understand more. And it is our obligation to learn the language of the people so you can give the message properly. Mas pabuti sa yung salita ng tao na yung magbigay ng mensahe ng Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala para matindihan sila. So that is very important for us to learn the languages, especially the English, because anywhere you go in the world, the people can speak, they can understand the English. So English is a good media for the da'wah, because in the world today, there are lots of people who can understand the English, even though those countries are not English countries, but they can understand English. So speaking English is da'wah in the English is a good media. Da'wah in the Tagalog or any language, it is good for people to understand whatever language. You must speak on that language to give the proper message. Okay. There's another question here from Ustaz Sadr. Isang tao na katay tapos hindi siya magsala. But I don't say anything, but kung if he say Bismillah, we leave it Allah, his iman with Allah. But if he slaughter in the name of Allah, Bismillah, no problem. Pwede na yun. Okay, Sheikh, how about the animals in the forest like snakes? Because some people eat snakes. So snake is bawal. Haram talaga the snake because it's a little animal. But in case of necessity, kung wala na ibang pagkain and mamatay yung tao, pwede kahit hindi halal. But snakes are not halal. But in the necessity, kung emergency, Allah will forgive that person. Okay, paano pagluto ulam bumili ka sa labas? Haram na yon kasi di mo alam yung ginamit na mantika. Okay. So you need to napasigurado na yung mantika halal. Okay, example yung minsan sa tinapay meron lard. So you need to make sigurado hindi na lard galing baboy but vegetable oil. Kung vegetable oil, no problem. But if it is galing sa hayop, hindi sure na kung galing baboy, so hindi ka pwede kain. Kahit doubtful, hindi ka pwede na kain. Okay, the same question by the same person, Dave Mendoza Cruz. Bumili kasi ko ulam sa tindahan kaso ang gulay may bakoy. Okay, so dapat you need to sure na tanong mo sa iyo ng karinderya na walang baboy ito sigurado or hindi. So you need to make sure, even gulay, you have to ask na hindi halo ng baboy dahil bawal kain ng baboy. So dapat tanong mo na lang or mas mabuti hanap ka na lang na sigurado halal. Paano lang kung nakatira sa isang politiko na kurap at siya din nagpapakain sa isang pamilya, haram po ang nagkakain ng pamilya na yun. Okay. This politician na kung corrupt yung politician, but yung pera galing sa tao, so hindi haram dahil galing sa tao, dun yung pera, balik sa tao. So kahit corrupt siya, but dumaan siya yung sa corrupt ng politician, halal pa rin dahil yung pera galing sa inyo din. Ikaw din ibigay sa gobyerno, so balik sa inyo yung pera. So your money goes to government and it's come back to you. So hindi haram dahil balik pera sa iyo. Hindi galing yung pera galing sa yung corrupt na politician, galing sa tao din yung pera. Okay, there's another question. We can make dua, inshallah. So make sure you eat halal so you will be going to next life, not in the hellfire, but in the paradise. So this is the time. It is for the sacrifice. Always look for the halal. You need to struggle for halal because it is a command of Allah to eat halal and not to eat haram. How about also the birds like butre or what? I don't know this. Anong bird yun yung butre? Can you explain it? Write it. Okay, you can explain yung butre or bat. Ano yung bird yan in English? Okay, bakit yung Christian sinasabihan na sumasamba sa rebulto? Samantala yung mga Muslim daw sumasamba sa kahon Makkah. Okay. Hindi na Muslim yung sumasamba sa yung Kaaba. Kaaba is only simbahan lang. Tapos may utos ng Allah na mag-circumlate yung ikot-ikot lang. So hindi yung sinasamba ng mga Muslim sa Makkah, sa Kaaba. Kaaba ay parang simbahan lang. Okay? So mali yung tayo ng naiintindihan. Yung Makkah or yung pati yung Blackstone is not Muslim yung samba sa Blackstone. Blackstone parang mark lang. Parang ikot-ikot. Ito ka na umpisa, dito ka tapos na yung pitong ikot sa Kaaba. Yan yung cube ginawa ni Prophet Abraham para sa samba sa lahat ng tao sa mundo. Kung direction ka sa east, papunta sa west. West, papunta sa east. Yung south, papunta sa north. And yung north, papunta sa south. Kaya yung Kaaba, 4 direction. Dahil sa east, west, north, south. So yung Kaaba sa ginda sa sentro ng world, hindi samba na Muslim sa Kaaba. Yung Kaaba isang direction ng lahat ng Muslim para sa dasal. Okay? So direction lang at simbahan lang yung Kaaba katulad sa Jerusalem. Yan din na yung direction dati na lahat na pati si Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam direction sa Jerusalem. So Jerusalem is a direction dati, na yung direction ng lahat ng tao sa mundo, Kaaba. Kaaba sa sentro ng mundo. Okay, I have a last question here. Yung crab po nabubuhay sa dagat at lumakoy po ba yung kainip? Okay. Yung crab, galing sa dagat. So, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu said yung galing sa dagat, pwede na kahit na anong bagay. So, sa dagat, walang problem. Yung hipon or crab or a shell, pwede kain dahil sabi ni Prophet Muhammad sallallahu yung lahat ng sa dagat, halal. Pinapakain sa hanap buhay na riba na walang kag-alam ano pa makasala ko. Kung hindi mo alam dati na haram yung riba, na yung alam mo na yan, mag-resign ka na lang sa yung trabaho ng riba, yung interest, hanap ka na lang na halal trabaho.